welcome to part 5 of my Dynamite piano tutorial. Now that we've made it through the first part of the chorus, now we're going to play the main part of the chorus. So let's get right into it because we've got a lot of work to do. I'll show you everything I just played here, step by step, and we're going to start out with the right hand. Okay, first off, I just want to introduce you to the 6 chord positions for the right hand. The first 3 are very similar in shape, and you won't notice much of a difference in sound until we add the bass notes. And these are generally wide chord positions, so you'll need to stretch your hand out to about an octave's length to play these. Alright, so our first chord is A major, and that's played with E, A, C sharp, and a higher E. And I'm using my number 1, 2, 3, and 5 fingers to play this. Our second chord is what we'll call C sharp minor. And all we needed to do was to simply take our number 2 finger and move it from A to G sharp, and all the other fingers remain the same. Okay, now our third chord is E major, and we simply need to move our number 3 finger over from the C sharp to B while keeping all the other fingers the same. Alright, now next we'll need to shift our hand position up a little bit so we can reach the F sharp with our thumb. We're going to play B with our index finger and E with our pinky. And we're going to call this chord B suspended 4. And for those of you who know a little bit about music theory, this is just a fancy way of saying that this is a B major chord which emphasizes the 4th voice in the scale. Alright, now if we simply take our pinky and play the D sharp instead of E, now we get our B major chord. And finally, we'll have to stretch up a little bit and to reach this chord, which we'll call this chord our E inversion chord or inverted E chord. And again, this is just more fancy music theory lingo, so don't get caught up in the name. Just know that we'll play this chord with our thumb on G sharp, our index finger on B, our middle finger on E, and our pinky on the higher G sharp again. So we're really going to have to stretch out to play this. Okay, so now that I've introduced you to our 6 chord positions for the main chorus, let me show you the order in which we'll play them. First we'll start out with the C sharp minor chord. Next we're going to move to our B suspended 4 chord. Next we move to E major. Then we resolve it with an A major chord. Then we'll start out again with our C sharp minor. Next we move up to B major. Then we'll move up again to that weird sounding E inversion chord. And then we'll finish back down with an A major again. So basically the main chorus consists of an 8 chord progression. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And once you can see these chords clearly and easily play them with your right hand, come and join me right now as we play them along with a beat. 2, 3, and. Let's double that up. Okay, so let's learn the accompanying left bass notes. As you see me play before, we're going to play 2 double bass notes with the left hand, each an octave apart. And all we need to do is play 2 double C sharps with our pinky and thumb, a double B, a double E, same fingering, and finally a double A. So this part is not so difficult. Let's play this together 2 beats at a time with a metronome. 2, 1, 2. 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's double this up. Alright, now assuming you've got the right hand chords down, let's get the bass notes together and see if we can coordinate both hands. First, let's start out with our C sharp minor chord. And remember, we're going to join that with 2 double C sharp notes in the bass. Next, we've got our B suspended 4 chord. And we're going to join that with 2 B notes in the bass. Next, we've got E major. Also played with 2 E notes in the bass. Then we'll resolve that with A major. Also played with 2 A notes. Okay, then we repeat that with C sharp minor again. This time we go to B major. Then we move up to our E inversion chord, or E inverted chord. And then we'll finish that off again with A major. Okay, so just to recap, we start with C sharp minor, B suspended 4, E major, A major. Repeat with C sharp minor chord again, B major this time, our E inverted chord, and end with A major again. Okay, now if you understood and were able to keep track of all those chord changes, let's proceed to play this chord progression together at varying speeds using a metronome. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Start with C sharp minor, B suspended 4, E major, A major, C sharp minor again, B major this time, our E inversion chord, and E major. Let's double this up. Double it up again. Okay, if you've been able to keep up with me so far, you're making pretty good progress. Just be sure you're able to play the previous exercise before moving ahead to this exercise, because now it's going to get tricky. Now, instead of playing straight chords, we're going to start syncopating these chords. to start playing them off the beat, and each hand will mostly play out of sync with the other hand. And the way that I'm going to teach the syncopation to you is by counting to the count of 8, and by carefully explaining and watching everything that's happening during each count. But you'll have to watch very closely, because basically I'm going to slowly break down each chord phrase down into 8 beats like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I told you it was going to get tricky, so I hope you've learned your right hand chords by now. Alright, so what I'll do next is show you in a microscopically slow pace what's going on in each hand during each beat. First, on 1, both hands are playing together. Next, on 2, the right hand plays the chord alone. On 3, the left hand plays the double bass alone. And now on 4, the right hand changes to a new chord and plays alone. Next on 5, now the left hand changes to a new set of double bass notes and plays alone. On 6, the right hand plays alone again. And now on 7 and 8, 7, 8, the left hand plays once and the right hand plays twice. 7, 8. Okay, so let me show you that again and count out the 8 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now let me play this progression with a little bit more rhythm so that it resembles what the song should actually sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now if that hasn't boggled your mind and you feel you want to give this a try, let's play this together right now using a metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now as you can see, we're back on the right hand again, and that means we've got one more thing to add before we're playing this chord progression correctly. So let me play the right hand chords again at normal speed and see if you can't spot what's missing here. Aha! So did you notice anything new? Well, if you picked up on that little riff I played, then you're very perceptive. This is the part of the song where Taio Cruz says, "We're gonna light it up like dynamite." So let's do that. Okay, but seriously, this little melody riff occurs between our B major chord and our E inversion chord. So let's learn all the notes of the riff first, and then we'll work it into our chord progression. First, we'll start out with our B major chord with our 1, 2, and 5 fingers. Next, we'll play the G sharp and E notes with our 1 and 3 fingers. Next, we'll shift up to our A and F sharp notes with our 1 and 4 fingers. Next, we're going to break our E inversion chord in half and play only the upper E and G sharp notes with our 3 and 5 fingers. Then we'll drop down into the lower half of the E inversion chord and play G sharp and B with our 1 and 2 fingers. And finally, we take the same fingers and play A and C sharp notes. So this is the anatomy of this melody riff. Alright, so try to play this slowly and accurately at first. And when you feel you've got this down, let's play this a few times just for practice. Playing it alone with the right hand, let's work that same riff into our chord progression with both hands. And I'm going to again use the count of 8 as I break down what each hand needs to do. Let's get back to our C sharp minor chord with our right hand and our double C sharp notes with our left hand. First on 1, both hands will play together. Next on 2, the right hand plays the chord alone. On 3, the left hand plays the double bass alone. On 4, the right hand changes to our B major chord and plays alone. Next on 5, the left hand changes to 2 double B notes and plays alone. On 6, the right hand plays the B major chord again. But now on 7, the right hand plays G and E together with the left hand B notes. And now on 8, the right hand plays the A and F sharp notes alone. Okay, we're only halfway through, so we're going to start again on 1. Our right hand is now playing the upper E and G sharp notes with our left hand playing 2 double E notes. Next, on 2, the right hand moves down to play the lower G sharp and B notes alone. On 3, the left hand plays the double E notes again. On 4, our right hand changes to play our A and C sharp notes. Next, on 5, the left hand changes to 2 double A notes. Now on 6, 7, and 8, the right hand plays the A major chord 3 times, while the left hand plays the double bass notes only on 7. 6, 7, 8. So, yeah, that's a lot of information that you don't necessarily need to memorize. Just watch me as I play this a few times so you can get a visual grasp of this exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so if you feel you're ready to light it up, let's play the main chorus section in its entirety using a slow metronome. Let's get back in our C sharp minor starting position, and I'll count it out. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we worked really hard on this section, and I hope you've been able to follow along and play it without any mistakes. But if you're still having trouble with this section, let me show you what it looks like written on sheet music. Now, believe it or not, we've still got a lot more twists and turns to learn in this song called Dynamite. And that's actually what I love about this song, the fact that there's so many different musical changes going on. So join me next time in part 6 of this tutorial, where we'll begin to learn how to play the bridge. That's the part that goes like this.